Hey y'all, I'm back. I told you. Gave you a little bit of what I was gonna be dealing with. Tried to give you some of the curses and things and do the wrong. But I'm gonna do something tonight. I'm gonna start off by showing you what the Israelites were taken for slaves and where the transatlantic slave coast were. They both were in the same place. The Iberian Peninsula. I don't know why the devil don't want me to get this out, but I'm gonna get it out. The Iberian Peninsula and Northwest Africa. I'm going to give you some information. I'm gonna do it by giving you questions to ask your computer. And I'm gonna give you the answer, some of them. I'm gonna tell you where to go and how to get there. I call this the history of the Iberian Peninsula Jews. Iberian is spelled Ibarian. In case I'm pronouncing it wrong, you can look it up. See how to pronounce it. Peninsula. Peninsula. The first question to be asked, type it in the computer, asks, when did the Jews first get to the Iberian Peninsula? The answer I got was the earliest significant Jews' presence in the Iberian Peninsula is generally traced back to century CE, Roman Empire, when the region was part of the Roman Empire, with evidence of established Jewish community as early as the first CE. Then it had here's more details. I hit it and I looked. Early presence, while the exact timing of the Jewish arrival is debated, evidence points to the presence in the Iberian Peninsula as early as the first century CE during the Roman period. The Jewish presence in the Irish Peninsula is known as they're known as Safari Jews, and their culture and heritage is rooted in the medieval Iberian Peninsula. I mean, it was deep in that area. They was deep there. Biblical reference, what some biblical Bible says. Some accounts suggest Jewish presence as early as the biblical times, with reference to Spain in the book of Obadiah and other biblical texts. I put Romans 15 and 24 and Romans 15 and 28, where Paul tell you he's going to Spain. It said destruction of the second temple. After the destruction of the second temple in Jerusalem in 70 EC, many of the Jews migrated to various parts of the Roman Empire, including the Iberian Peninsula. The Golden Age, Al-Andalus, Aldandalus. Don't know how to pronounce these words. Muslim ruled Spain from the 10th century to the 12th century. It is often considered a golden age for the Jews in the region marked by relative prosperity, tolerance, and integration of the main three Abrahamic religions, Islam, Judaism, and Christianity. The main three religions that were judged, and it's that persecution and expulsion. Jews on the Arabian Peninsula were forced to a forced period of was forced period of persecution, particularly under the Bostic and later Christian rule. The Bostic were people that were Vikings, as far as their history traced back as go back forward to Vikings. And the only thing about them that you can really say is how they believe. And their belief, they converted over. That's what they done. And you read it through what I tell you to, you will see it. It said that they was Asian, I don't know how to pronounce it, so I'm gonna spell it Ariansim. And their belief was Christian heresy that declares that Christ is not the true divine, is not truly divine. Wait a minute. Christian hearsay that declares Christ is not truly divine, but a created being according to Alexandrian Presbytery Agorist 4th century. God alone is immutable and self-existent, and the Son is not God, but a creator, but a creature with a beginning. Then they changed over to the Nicene Creed. I might have it wrong, so I'm gonna spell it. Nicenecreed. I believe in one God, the Father Almighty, maker of heaven and earth, of all things visible and invisible. And I believe in the Lord Jesus Christ. Now, it goes on to say, in the later Christians, that's Spain. The Abbot Creed in 1492, issued by Queen Isabella and King Fernando, forced Jews to convert to Christianity or leave Spain, making the end of Jewish life in the Iberian Peninsula. The spoil expulsion, the Jews imported to Spain in 1492 led to a large exposure, with the Jews settling in various places, including North Africa and the Ottoman Empire, Portugal, and Italy. Now, we're going to get into when Portugal and Italy put the Jews out. First, we got to figure out now who we're dealing with. We see what Spain does. And we found out that Spain's forefathers are the pre-Romans, the Bastards, and the Moors, who are contributing to shaping Spanish culture and history in the Spanish origin trace. Back to the variety of the ethnic backgrounds the Celts of the African and Iberians lived there. Anciently possession came, established Cadiz 11 BC, the oldest non-inhabited city in Greek are Carthage and Rome successfully entered into the Iberian Peninsula. Now, let me spell it for you. Carthaginians. Are either going to lead back the forefather to Esau, Cain, or Ishmael. The Phoenicians led back to the Canaanites, I believe. Can you see the pattern? Esau against Jacob. Now, the expulsion of the Jewish life ended abruptly in 1492. when the Jews were told to either convert or leave. This led to the Sephardic diaspora. Sephardic Jews, Spanish Jews, Portuguese Jews, also called Western Sephardic Jews, Iberian Jews, or Peninsula Jews. A distinct a distinctive subgroup of Sephardic Jews who were largely descended of Jews who lived as Christians in the Iberian Peninsula. During a few centuries following the forced explosion of unconverted Jews from Spain in 1492, and from Portugal in 1497. And they sent them Jews to North and Northwest Africa. And them Jews was the biggest part of the transatlantic slave trade. They are an American citizens right now. I'm gonna leave you with a couple of more questions like I did last time. How come every black man in the world is a Negro? But you got Sephardic Jews, Akanasi Jews, or whatever, or they want to be Jews. You got Germans, West German, and Southeast German. You got South Korea and North Korea. You got Great Britain, English, the Scottishman. You got what you call them, the potato man, Irish, Italian, all of them white, but they don't all fit in. They all white. They in the white category, but they all got background, ethnicity, who they are. All we got is Africa. And make us all Negroes. Every Negro in the world is in Africa. Did every Negro in the world come from Africa? All them tribes over there in Africa, they can condition and name you all the way back into the Bible. They can tell you about the Ethiopian and the Swahili and the this back up, but they can't tell you who you are. I want to know who we are. So I searched it out. I told you I started the very place the slaves came from. So you can see who was there. And the only ones that was there that you can trace the history back that got on those slave ships had to be the Jews. They put them there. We're going to go through the history and find out.